Good afternoon, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director, Public Facilities Management. And joining me today is Vivian Alexander, Chief Operating Officer. Also in the audience are several members of the leadership team who have contributed to the accomplishments that we are proud to discuss today and who will help achieve the 2020 initiatives. The mission statement of Public Facilities Management, also known as PFM, is delineated on this slide. PFM is an agency with duties and responsibilities that support all county offices and agencies and their public users on a daily basis, whether delivering basic services such as housekeeping or facilities maintenance, or when developing and implementing long-term strategies and projects. PFM continually collaborates with other entities. Our primary role is to provide support services that help county offices and agencies successfully carry out their mission. Commissioners, PFM is strongly committed to exemplifying a service, progress, and excellence philosophy to our building residents and visitors, where superior customer service, attention to detail, responsiveness, professionalism, and proactive communication is the standard. Today we will discuss PFM's 2019 accomplishments and, more importantly, focus on our goals and initiatives for 2020. Your core principles, stated in Resolution 43217, emphasize our commitment to promote good stewardship of our environmental resources and sustainability. PFM has many opportunities to be a leader in this arena. PFM promotes most activities on an ongoing basis, but implemented a few new initiatives in 2019, including the posting of the current air quality rating on the county portal and attending the Sustainability Summit, which focused on sustainable community programs. We also worked with Bear Environmental, a local MBE and EDGE vendor that we met at an outreach event for the new corrections center to coordinate the safe and environmentally responsible disposal of hazardous waste for our agency. Here are some other accomplishments, such as continued support for the 2 county pollinator gardens, which have matured beautifully, and the International Harvest Garden that now includes a collaboration with the OSU Extension Service. We have also collaborated with Fleet Management and manage a pool car fleet of 1 completely electric plug-in vehicle, 3 hybrid vehicles, and 3 plug-in hybrid vehicles, and 30 electric vehicle charging stations that we have installed around county facilities using a local MBE vendor. In 2017, the Board of Commissioners passed a resolution to participate in the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Council's Sustainable 2050 Committee. As the criteria for the participants was developed and the tier status requirements were finalized, it became clear to PFM at the beginning of 2019 that as an agency, we could not achieve the highest status, Platinum, alone. Therefore, with approval, several commissioners' agencies, including PFM, Economic Development and Planning, Fleet Management, and Sanitary Engineering, partnered together, and we also reached out to Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, and the Franklin County Engineer. After a meeting with all the above agencies, offices, and MORPC, we realized that as a collaborative partnership, we could achieve the highest status, Platinum. After a combined effort outlining, recording, and verifying the group's accomplishments towards fulfilling the Platinum status criteria, our application for Platinum status was accepted and approved in October of 2019. Some other important information to note is in 2019, we continued the recycling of paper with 223 tons of recycled paper diverted from the landfill, thereby reducing our carbon footprint by taking the equivalent of 178 vehicles off the highway. We also reused 183 pieces of furniture and recycled about 903 tons of various materials. The 903 tons of recycled materials includes materials from our construction projects along with recycling efforts managed by our sustainability division. Reducing the amount of materials going to the landfill is always a key PFM focus. The next slide references our monthly resolution for disposal of information technology equipment identified as obsolete and available for recycling by the Franklin County Automatic Data Processing Board. In 2019 thus far, we have recycled approximately 35 tons of equipment through our partnership with Goodwill Columbus, reducing our carbon footprint by taking the equivalent of 18 vehicles off the highway. Now to COO Vivian Alexander to discuss general amenities accomplishments.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We provided services for over 2,000 reservations for event space and meeting rooms. In addition, we have produced 735 in-house signs throughout county buildings and have created new processes to allow for producing more signage in-house. We are also very pleased to have set in place outside the PFM office the county's new logo in a large two-dimensional display that highlights the Commissioner's commitment to every resident every day. Technology implemented by PFM is critical to county operations and allows staff to work in a safe, productive, and efficient environment. A major telecommunications accomplishment was completing 100% IP phone deployment in the Common Police Courthouse with 304 IP phones, and in the Franklin County Office Tower with 1,323 IP phones deployed. PFM also managed a security electronics enhancement project that included the installation of 81 cameras, 40 access controls, 39 panic buttons in the domestic relations and juvenile court. PFM is currently managing the installation of an updated video and intercom system that allows common police court personnel to manage entry into secured areas. Another major technology initiative is a security enhancement project at the Dog Shelter and Adoption Center that includes the installation of 19 interior and exterior door access controls, which has been completed, along with the installation of 49 new IP cameras and monitors that are currently being installed. Our IT staff migrated various critical servers from earlier Microsoft Server versions to ensure continued Microsoft support and security updates. We have closely collaborated with Juan Torres, CIO for the Board of Commissioners, and the Franklin County Data Center to complete the county's multi-tiered Microsoft 365 project. During the fiscal year 2019, we focused on enhancing the safety program, which included increasing the number of safety trainings for PFM staff by 40%. Additionally, we installed photoluminescent tape and signage in the stairwells of the Front Street Garage and new evacuation signs and maps at various county facilities. PFM's Operations Division is the agency's lead in providing professional facility services, which impact county employees and building visitors on a daily basis. They are constantly faced with the challenge of balancing the need to respond to everyday requests for assistance and unanticipated issues, while also forecasting and scheduling necessary preventative maintenance actions for county facilities. About 40,000 work requests annually that PFM responds to as the county's property manager for almost 4 million square feet space is substantial. Landscaping and beautification has been a key focus for PFM operations this year at various county facilities, as you can see in these photos. PFM recently completed a project to create a new permanent exhibit at Memorial Hall to display over 40 veterans plaques previously displayed at the former Veterans Memorial. These plaques list the names of fallen military men and women from various wars and conflicts, from the Revolutionary through the Vietnam War. The display housed in the lobby level atrium is in the shape of a star and includes interactive kiosks with touchscreens. Additional plaques were installed in the Franklin County Room at the new National Veterans Memorial Museum. All plaques were safely and professionally restored during this process to ensure their continued display for many years to come. The design of this inspiring exhibit was a collaborative, inclusive process, including multiple veterans organizations. This photo is from the opening ceremony held on November 4th, 2019, and we encourage veterans and the general public to visit this important exhibit.
One of our major 2019 PFM construction projects is the space we are in today, the new Franklin County Commissioners Hearing Room. This recently completed renovation project will relocate general session beginning December 10th from the 26th floor of the Franklin County Office Tower to the lobby level of the Judicial Services Building at 369 South High Street. Relocation to the lobby level, directly adjacent to the county's main entrance to the government complex, will enhance access and transparency to general session for the public. This modern space, which was formerly a meeting room, is almost double the square footage of the current general session room and will provide seating for up to 125 people as compared to only 52 in the current meeting room. The dais is handcrafted millwork by an Ohio-based firm and is designed to match the building's existing woodwork. As we hope you have observed, this new space offers sophisticated AV technology that will improve the quality of public viewing of general session and presentations moving forward. It is important to note that the construction of this space achieved 100% small and emerging business enterprise SEBE participation, as Knight Electric, a local minority business enterprise, an MBE and union firm, was the prime contractor. Additionally, understanding the county's commitment to SEBE participation, Knight Electric went above and beyond by substantially subcontracting to other SEBE firms, including the Ohio MBE and union firms of Precision Flooring for carpet and Williamson Builders for general trades. The dais chairs that are forthcoming were purchased from a local women-owned business, a WBE. Additionally, an adjacent renovation of the Judicial Services Building is almost complete that will provide a gender-neutral restroom, a lactation space, and water fountains for building residents and visitors. Through the leadership of the commissioners and county administration, $50 million of the total sales tax-backed bonds issued in late 2018 were obtained and the Facility Preservation Fund was established. This chart delineates a current breakdown of completed and/or anticipated projects from this fund. Roof replacements. In 2019, roof replacements at the Board of Elections building on Morse Road and the JFS East Opportunity Center were successfully completed. The Franklin County Office Tower roof replacement is underway and will be completed in mid-2020. The total of $14.5 million also includes about $9 million allocated for anticipated replacements of several end-of-life roofs at county facilities that are under final review.
Elevator modernization estimated at $7 million. This critical project modernizes the motor and parts and provides interior upgrades for all 16 elevator cars that are original to the Franklin County Office Tower. This project is well underway, with 6 of the 16 elevators modernized in 2019, 3 currently in process, and the remaining elevators to be completed by early 2021.
About $450,000 for the installation of generators to provide 100% redundancy for the JFS East Opportunity Center and the purchasing print shop on Morse Road.
Almost $800,000 for the completed security enhancements for the domestic relations and juvenile court, including cameras, access controls, and panic alarms that were described earlier.
2019 projects, several of which have already been highlighted today.
Reconfiguration for the addition of courtrooms for the domestic relations and juvenile court. Pizzuti Solutions was contracted to perform an update to the county's master plan that includes a review of the county's space needs and to provide recommendations for long-term space utilization and allocation. The first priority was space planning with the domestic relations and juvenile court to ensure sufficient space was available for 2 new judges. A minor renovation was completed at the end of 2018 to satisfy the space requirement for the first new judge. A major renovation will be required and will impact multiple floors in order to accommodate the second new judge arriving in 2021 and other court needs. A selection process is currently underway for a design firm for this project. Subsequently, procurement will advance for the construction, and the construction manager at risk model will be employed on this project. This project estimate is $10 million, and construction will occur throughout 2020.
Lastly, reserve funding of about $14 million for other potential critical facility preservation and/or implementation of master plan recommendations. PFM will continue to conduct facility studies to identify additional critical facility preservation projects that are needed. Regarding the master plan process, Pizzuti Solutions has been actively conducting detailed space interviews throughout 2019 with county offices and agencies that span many facilities and have completed about 85% of interviews. After completion of the interview process, which is anticipated soon, Pizzuti will provide a draft report for review by the commissioners and county administration that includes interview minutes, research findings, recommendations, and cost estimates. Thereafter, determinations need to be made through a collaborative process regarding the amount of facility preservation bond reserve funds or other funds that may be made available to facilitate construction for the highest priority master plan space needs and/or advancement of additional critical facility preservation projects.
PFM has exhibited a concerted effort to identify small and emerging business enterprises that could possibly provide materials and service during the 2019. These SEBE calculations include all purchase orders over $1,000, with the exception of POs associated with the construction of the new Franklin County Correction Center and the Forensic Science Center projects. We are being measured separately against the established aspirational goals and will be discussed next. The total amount awarded to SEBEs in 2019 through the third quarter was approximately $3.4 million out of $27.3 million awarded, which equates to 12.5%.
In addition to the numbers, it is important to discuss the stories of some of these SEBEs and how PFM engaged new SEBE firms in 2019. Specifically, we followed up with firms that we met at coffee and conversations with the county held at the Minority Business Assistance Center and the Corrections Center outreach events. We engaged Bear Environmental, a local MBE and EDGE vendor that we met at an outreach event for the new Corrections Center to coordinate the safe and environmentally responsible disposal of hazardous waste for our agency. Malon Enterprises LLC, a local WBE, MBE, and EDGE firm we met at Coffee and Conversations, provided plumbing services at the current downtown jail. We also engaged Higher Ground Green Roofs LLC, a local WBE, MBE, and EDGE firm, to perform environmental maintenance services to the Common Pleas Sustainable Green Roof. Additionally, we partnered with MAK Engineering Services, a local MBE firm, to provide retrofit LED lighting in the Memorial Hall and JFS East Opportunity Center surface lots, and the county will receive energy rebates from AEP for this work. We are also discussing additional LED lighting projects with MAK Engineering for 2020 to improve lighting levels in the county's garages, while also reducing energy consumption through the use of LEDs.
The new Franklin County Forensic Science Center currently is under construction, will provide a state-of-the-art facility for the county coroner's office and their staff. The new facility is designed with about 57,000 square feet of updated office, administrative and conference space, lab, and autopsy suite. The new building is nearly triple the space of the current location on King Avenue. Additionally, the building will allow the coroner's office to implement new cutting-edge testing, imaging, and evidentiary procedures. The space has been designed to be supportive and respectful of the public who may be present under stressful circumstances. This project is the county's first construction manager at risk model of delivery, which means that all contracts for construction are held by the construction manager. Groundbreaking and construction mobilization occurred in the fall of 2018. Through these photos taken in February and September, you can certainly see the substantial progress that has been made in 2019. Construction is on schedule for completion in May of 2020. In terms of sustainability, this project anticipated to achieve a LEED Silver certification. This project has established a small and emerging business enterprise aspirational goal of 14%. This project is on track to exceed the aspirational goal with an anticipated percentage of SEBE participation at 22.11%, approximately $5.7 million. The county engaged Dr. Bill Lafayette of Reaganomics LLC, who has conducted an economic impact study for this project, which has previously been shared with the board. At project completion, Dr. Lafayette will review and compare actuals to the original estimates. The new Franklin County Correction Center, currently under construction, creates a cutting-edge direct supervision model facility and provides an increased standard of care with particular attention to medical and mental health facilities and inmate programming spaces. The initial section of the building is approximately 429,000 square feet and includes housing for about 870 inmates, full build-out of core support services, kitchen, laundry, and booking. Groundbreaking and construction mobilization occurred nearly 2 years ago.
The new Correction Center project employs the county's traditional construction manager agency model of delivery, which means that all contracts for construction are held by the county. 31 prime contracts have been awarded during the initial construction procurement. The first section of the building is on schedule to be completed by the end of 2020 and occupied in 2021. Closure of the current downtown jail will occur with the completion of this initial construction phase. Through these photos, you can observe the significant construction progress that has occurred over the last year. In terms of sustainability, this project is anticipated to achieve LEED Silver certification. The continuation phase, which will provide housing for an additional several hundred inmates, is currently in design with procurement and construction beginning in 2020. This project has an established small and emerging business enterprise aspirational goal of 12%. Achieving SEBE participation has been a key focus and collaborative effort for the entire project team, including the construction inclusion team, the CIT. This project is on track to exceed the aspirational goal with an anticipated percentage of SEBE participation of 23.27%, approximately $46.1 million. The county engaged Dr. Bill Lafayette of Regionomics LLC, who has conducted an economic impact study for this project, which has previously been shared with the board. At project completion, Dr. Lafayette will review and compare actuals to the original estimates. While we are proud of our 2019 accomplishments, PFM has shifted focus to our new 2020 goals in continuing to deliver outstanding support services to county offices and agencies. PFM has submitted a results-oriented budget that responds to the board's strategic policy objectives. Our sustainability program is a daily presence in county buildings with visible recycling containers and staff picking up paper for recycling and moving obsolete furniture and equipment for reuse, auction, or recycling. The wildflowers will continue to assist in helping pollinators survive in an increasingly difficult environment due to chemicals and climate change. We will continue to promote recycling and environmental awareness among employees and visitors with signage recycling containers in our zero waste station and the Ben Franklin Cafe. We are proud to be named a Platinum Sustainable 2050 community and will continue to collaborate with area communities to enhance the environmental health of Central Ohio. As technology is always changing and improving, it is important to keep up to date, especially in the areas of communication in its many forms and security. In 2020, our technology divisions all have plans that will help us remain current and progressive. Our telecom division will further deployment of county IP phones, including at the new Forensic Science Center. Finally, our electronics division will update 3 meeting rooms to allow for 16 wireless microphones per room and provide audio media output as currently available in the auditorium. Security electronics will be further enhanced by installing IP cameras at the JFS East Opportunity Center, along with replacing all analog cameras with IP cameras in the Franklin County Office Tower.
In 2020, PFM will enhance the safety program by expanding training to county staff to prepare for emergencies. We will also continue education and training for in-house staff, such as attending City of Columbus fire safety training and creating safety training videos. We will also further develop safety training manuals for PFM trade staff. PFM will continue its standards of excellence in customer service and communication with county offices and agencies. We will continue to identify opportunities to expand small and emerging business enterprise participation. PFM will provide additional training opportunities for staff in the operation of existing and new sophisticated building operations system and processes, such as for the new Forensic Science Center and Correction Center. PFM will also continue providing quality customer service as we advance construction projects for county offices and agencies. Additionally, we will continue to identify opportunities to expand small and emerging business enterprise participation for construction projects. The major construction projects, including the Forensic Science Center, New Correction Center, and Domestic Relations Juvenile Court, will require ongoing PFM oversight and manage in conjunction with the construction teams.
Lastly, we would like to publicly thank our PFM staff for their continued hard work and dedication, and to express our appreciation for the support provided by the Board of Commissioners and County Administration. Thank you for your time today. And you notice we had to sneak in a photo of our trophy.
There you go.
I have so many questions for you all the time. I'm not sure if I have any for you today.
I know it's a lot of information to take in, but we're happy to.
You know I have questions, Commissioner.
Yes, you do. Go ahead.
Commissioner O'Grady and Director, Deputy Director, thank you for the presentation today. It's certainly thorough and important. I want to begin by complimenting your organization personally, too. I think that you have been nothing short of responsive, inclusive, and certainly creative. You know, your team is strong, and I think that you all think ahead, as evidenced by the Veterans Memorial at Memorial Hall. Just a job well done. There's just no other way to look at that. That is an outstanding memorial and display of Franklin County's history, quite frankly, and the veterans who lived here and what they contributed. But you also talked about things that, because in many ways you're an internal organization, meaning that you serve the county itself as opposed to directly serving the public. But your work through us and through these agencies serves the public, but you found ways to be fully engaged with the public. This facility itself is an example of that. So I just quickly, I'll be quickly. So from here, the landscaping, wayfinding, gender-neutral restrooms and water fountains, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, these are things that help us serve the public, and I just wanted to say how much I appreciate that. The one thing that really jumps out at me in your work is our level of inclusiveness. You know, there were the history of Franklin County has not always, you know, it's been better over the last 10, 15 years for sure, but the history of Franklin County has not always had the level of inclusiveness that it has had over the last decade. And it seems to just get better and better and better. I think we as the Board of Commissioners have embraced that as a value. And I know my colleagues, both publicly and privately, believe in this element of inclusivity and invest in it. And in each of them, I mean, it's serious. It's a real thing. But if you could, can you talk about where we are, and are we better this year than we were 3 years ago? Are we better this year than we were 10 years ago? Are we still improving, or are we kind of holding steady? And then the other thing is, we refer to them as SEBEs, which is inclusive of minority, women, veterans, and so forth and so on. Is there a breakdown of women and minorities, specifically veterans and so forth, that we could see as well? Because these are good numbers, but I think we should be able to talk about them from an intimate level of improvement. And I just want to, if you don't have it, that's okay, and you can get it to us, but it'd be great to have that in a sort of broken down format.
We do not have that with us today, but it is certainly information that we possess and can provide to you.
Yeah, and I feel like I know on the big construction projects, correct, I have that because Director Long and I just went over this a couple days ago. But in the big umbrella of all that you do, I mean, it seems like you've covered this in every area. And so I really think that it would be value for us to know that, and
No, we have those breakdowns, so we can share that with you.
yeah, that'd be great.
But we continue to focus to expand into new opportunities, and we really wanted to highlight some new areas in 2019. And I think there's definitely still room and continues to be a priority that Vivian and I are communicating to our staff agency-wide to ensure that in the operations and construction side of the house, that is, we're always very thoughtful of that and looking for new opportunities, so.
And I had another question, but I just seemed to have lost it where I wrote it. Oh, I know what it was. Here it is. So the owner's rep format, where Pizzuti Solutions is our sort of agency, at what point do we evaluate that and from a opening it back up and give another sort of review of that? Because it seems like doing it when we first did it, it was kind of our first time. We've learned a lot since then about our own sort of role in that, and at what point does that reopen and we sort of reassess that? Because with the facilities plan, there's still going to be a lot to do, and there's a lot of there are projects we don't even know yet, haven't come on the radar screen yet, because you're not done with your facilities thing, and then there's just going to be stuff that comes up. So, at what point do we look at that and reevaluate that role?
Well, and Commissioner Boyce and Commissioner O'Grady, if I could jump in just a
Sure.
moment. So the owner's rep perspective, they are only engaged as owner's rep on the Forensic Science Center and the Correction Center project. Pizzuti happens to be also the entity that is engaged to do the review of the master plan, but that in that role, they're not an owner's rep per se. They have added some assistance just as part of their master plan contract to help push us forward on getting the two courtrooms done for the domestic and juvenile court, because it was part of the master plan process. But to the extent that the commissioners decide that you would wish to have an owner's rep, let's say there's a big project that comes out of the master planning perspective, that would be something that the commissioners, the three of you, could decide whether that model works, and if it does, it would be opened up again for consideration of if you wish to do an owner's rep model, who that would be in terms of interview process.
Yeah, but what I was really getting at, though, because I did understand that, but what I was really getting at, and maybe I should have articulated this better, is will there be a sort of performance scorecard? And I'm not trying to put Pizzuti on the spot. I think they've done fine, but I want to analyze it as a commissioner from a different lens in terms of my own access to information, knowledge, the things that I get from the folks on the project and whatnot. So I guess I'm wondering, is there a scorecard of performance that we'll get to kind of look at and see how things have gone? And again, I hope that isn't perceived as a negative hit for Pizzuti, because it's not. I don't mean to be that at all, but I want an opportunity to sort of look at that at a deeper dive.
Sure. There's not a formalized scorecard, but we certainly can do make sure that we capture the kinds of questions not only at the end of the project, but now in terms of ensuring that we're getting the kinds of information in the flow, not just from myself and Darla and Vivian and others, but from the team as well, to ensure that you're feeling best served by, again, not necessarily Pizzuti or whomever, but that model.
And if I could, Commissioner O'Grady, I mean, I use Pizzuti as an example, but it applies to even the agencies that we're working on it
Sure.
under them, Gilbert and Smoot, so forth and so on, I think it's not just did you complete it on time, did you complete it under budget, it's other things like responsiveness, inclusivity,
Sure.
engagement with all of the partners involved. I mean, it's the sort of soft things that you don't always get to evaluate in a transaction like these, but matter. And I just want to make sure we capture that when we sort of reconcile this wave of facility stuff into the next wave, which it seems like it's going to be significant too.
No, absolutely understood, and there's tremendous opportunities for lessons learned and making sure that we're prepared
Yeah, that's what I'm
going
getting
forward.
at. That's what I'm getting at. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys do everything from, since I've been here, you've built ballparks and jails and courthouses and animal shelters and, and then we've toured pollinator gardens and community, you know, I've asked you to dig up community gardens and access water, and you take care of every facility and building that we own. You guys have, you've made frames for my office, you've done everything you can, I mean, you name it, you guys do it all. I mean, you really do, you do it all. But I have one question that I can't seem to ever understand, my staff and I do. Who's the 7-foot-tall person who leans their head up against the mirror in the one elevator and smudges the elevator so high up? Every time I get in the elevator, there's like this head print. It's like, what, 7 feet up there, and Annie and Kevin and I look up and we're like, who's that person? Because you get in the elevator and it's just like, what? The glass in the elevator, there's a big smudge up there, and that's, I think it's even too high up for your people to like be able to clean the glass up there. It's like, but anyway.
It's
you guys-
definitely not me or Vivian,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, it's not me either, and I mean, I could put a bald spot on any elevator. But, you know, and every time we get in the elevator, Annie and Kevin and I are like, oh, God.
Well, we will try to solve that mystery in
Yeah,
2020.
But, no, you guys do a tremendous job, and I was just thinking about it as you guys were sitting here presenting and going through this stuff, and Commissioner Boyce was asking questions, and I was thinking, over the years, I've asked you guys to do some pretty crazy stuff. Dig up a community garden, and then dig up another community garden. Let's tap into a well, and then, oh, by the way, is there, you know, I need a, you know, can you guys frame this for me? And oh, by the way, can you, you know, I mean, just, you know, every time I turn around, we're asking PFM to do something else. And then I need new carpet, because, you know, that carpet, you guys put new carpet in my office. It was the first time that it had been recarpeted since the building was built in 1990, what, 2?
Turning 30.
Yeah, you know, and thank God, you know, I didn't have a raccoon in my office. You know, poor Marilyn, you guys had to completely redo her office after that incident. But anyway, you know, the work you guys do around here is amazing, and we oftentimes don't thank you for everything that you do, and you do it all over the county. I see Tim Gill here. Tim does it in facilities, you know, elsewhere, in parts unknown in this county. So thanks for what you guys do.
Thank you for that.
Thank
Our
you.
staff works,
Tim's there in
Yeah.
the beige jacket there. Yeah.
our staff works very hard and is very dedicated on a daily basis and takes a lot of pride in their work. And hopefully you see that around the facility.
I'll
So
have to
thank
take
you for the
Tim's place.
positive
We'll get-
feedback.
We'll get one of the finest Italian subs in Central Ohio too. He owns a place up in Clintonville, got a great Italian sub. The India Oak. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.